Hey everybody, I'm Chef Tom with atbbq.com, and this is Smash Burger Tacos. But today we're mashing up two of my favorite foods, smash burgers and tacos. We're gonna whip up a really tasty patty that's got a brisket blend beef, some beef chorizo mixed into it. We're gonna cook that on the griddle with thin sliced onions in the Oklahoma onion burger style. Then we're gonna top it with pepper jack cheese, throw it on a tortilla, cooked on the griddle, and piled high with fresh ingredients, lettuce, pico de gallo, and a really nice green chili crema. First, we're gonna put together our burger patties. So I've got about 8 ounces here of Mexican beef chorizo, and we're gonna add 1 pound to that of our Creekstone Farms brisket blend burger pucks. We're just gonna break this up so we can mix it up. So still an all beef patty, but we're gonna get some of that chorizo flavor worked into it. Once I feel like I've got that pretty evenly mixed, we're gonna portion this out into a dozen 2-ounce balls. Fairly small patty, but you'll see when we get to actually cooking these, they spread out big time, cover the entire tortilla, and then you kind of fill the center with all of the toppings, and it's plenty. Now these are gonna go chill out in the fridge while we continue our prep work. Next up, we're slicing onions, and I'm doing it on the mandolin slicer so I can get a really consistent thin slice on these. I want them super thin. I mean, you can get them with a knife that thin, but it takes a lot of time, and it's usually a little less consistent. My favorite way to do this is actually on the deli slicer, but it's a lot more work to clean than the mandolin. I'm gonna do 2 large onions worth of slicing here. I love the really thin onion because they caramelize so quickly during the cook, and they really just become a part of the patty. So I'm gonna throw these in a bowl, kind of break them up a bit, and then I'm gonna hit them with just a little bit of kosher salt. And this is gonna help draw out some of the moisture. The more moisture we can take out of these, the quicker they're gonna caramelize in the end. So we'll kind of just massage that, a little bit of salt into there. We're just gonna let this sit, and it's gonna start to leach out some of that water, which then we can strain out. Next condiment we're gonna put together here is our pico de gallo. So this would be a great fresh topping to kind of counterbalance all the heaviness of a greasy burger that's smothered in cheese and cooked on the griddle. We're gonna start with about 1 cup of diced tomato. Next, I'm gonna do a 1/4 cup of red onion, and we're gonna dice it down pretty small. Next, I'm gonna break down about half of this jalapeno for a couple or a few tablespoons of finely diced jalapenos. Next, we'll do a couple tablespoons of minced cilantro. Squeeze the juice of half a lime in here. And add just a little bit of salt. I'm doing the black garlic salt today. Just a pinch. Give that a good mix. That's that. Next, I want to do a little bit of green chili crema. This is going to be our last condiment, I promise. Just a drizzle over the top of our tacos. So that's gonna start with a 1/2 cup of sour cream. We're gonna add to that a 1/4 cup of mayo. We'll throw in a 1/4 cup of cilantro, 1/4 cup of roasted green chilies. They're just store-bought out of the can. And then about a tablespoon of our Yellowbird Serrano hot sauce. Blitz this up with food processor. Immersion blend. It thins out really nicely, so you can drizzle it over the top. Now before we hit the griddle, just gonna squeeze out our onions. All right, looks good. Let's smash some burgers. Today we're cooking on the Halo 4B griddle, so let's get it loaded up. Well, our griddle is smoking hot at about 500 degrees. We're gonna hit it with a little avocado oil. And then we're gonna run 4 at a time here because we're gonna have to move quick. We'll start with our burger, load it up with some onion. And we smash. Gonna get that nice and thin, out roughly to the size of our tortilla, which we are using a small street tortilla size flour tortilla today. Smelling that chorizo right off the bat. We're gonna hit this with some of our Roadhouse beef and steak seasoning. Got some great Southwest flavors to it, so that's gonna work awesome for our taco. Already got a great crust, so let's give it a flip. We lost a little bit, but that's all right, because we are going to hold it together with cheese. Pepper jack cheese all the way to the edges. We want a little bit of that skirt sticking out. And that cheese is also going to glue our tortilla right there to the patty. Let's do it again. Check out that crispy cheese skirt forming up there. And before we're done and want to take these off, I also want to crisp up the other side just a little bit, just to put a little texture on there. Let's move them to the cool side though. Cheese skirt came with me. Onions aren't totally caramelized, but let's take a look. Yeah, you can see we got just a little bit of toast on there, but it's still pliable. That's what we're going for. Starting our last round now, a little bit more pan spray on here. The hot side of the grill is running about 500, like I said. The cool side of the grill is running about 300. The cool thing about this Halo is you can actually go 8 zones, so you can actually shut off the burners in the back and just cook in the front, or you can adjust the entire zone. It gives you a lot more control. So we're gonna smash these down. We'll check back in with you when they're just about finished. Making sure we got the really nice cheese skirt on this last round. All right, so let's load it up with some toppings now. Throw a little bit of avocado on here. Remember, we gotta find some freshness to balance out all the greasiness that's going on in this wonderfully greasy smash burger taco. Let's come back with a little romaine on top. Next we got the pico. Trying to get some of that juiciness so that juice will drip right down into the taco. And we'll finish it all off with the drizzle of our green chili crema. That's it. All right, time to get a taste. Hit it with a little lime first. Let's dig in. Man, first thing I taste is onion burger, and I love that. The caramelized onion, the chorizo, great flavor from the chorizo, but not overpowering because it's mixed with the beef. And then of course, cheesiness. The cheese skirt, crispy around the edges, super creamy in the middle. Topped with all that freshness. The avocado, the pico, the lime juice. This ends up really well balanced for something that's initially a pretty greasy food item. I mean, it's still greasy, it's dripping. But, like I said, really well balanced with those cold ingredients on top. I can sit here and eat this till I get taco neck syndrome. I'll be stuck like this for good. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out atbbq.com for all the products featured in today's video. If you enjoy the recipe, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments or there's anything you'd like to see me cook, let me know in the comment section down below, and let's be good to one another. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, head over to atbbq.com/thesauce. All things barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.